Back to the channel. You see I've got my base coated Atreides here. They're going to get a wash and then a bit of gray on armor plating and stuff. But that green is the actual uniform color. I'm basing this, of course, on, I think, the 86 Dune. I looked at all the Dunes and I decided which uniform I actually like the best. So, yeah, we're calling this Rebel painting for reasons. I don't know why. Let me see here. Let's add a camera. So let's cancel that. We're going to add a camera. Put me on really small. So, no, that's not the one. Share screen. Oh, it's right here. Duh. Da, 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 da. To the one of you watching, hello. Video storage, screen share, image, extra camera. There it is. It's E. User facing. Yeah, not really very high definition, this camera. I mean, even when it says it's high definition, it's really not. So, Crafting Gamer, what's up, homie? How are you doing? Okay. Okay, that's what I want to do. Please connect more video input devices. Oh, I was trying to add I was just trying to add the one built into the computer, but okay. Be that way then. I want to show off my hat. And I've promoted myself to lieutenant too, but I still got to wait for the thing to come in. So I'll hold the camera up. So this is my new hat. Pretty stylish, right? And the flat on the top, when it comes in, there will be a big pin of a bugle. And the bugle is so people who see the hat would know that the man wearing the hat was a lieutenant in an infantry regiment. And of course, if there's any infantry regiment I would want to be affiliated with, especially since, I have an ancestor that fought in that regiment, it would be the 6th Kentucky, which was part of the Orphan Brigade. And to that end, you can look up a Major Thomas McKee, who, fought for the Orphan Brigade. So called because they were raised in Kentucky to fight in the war. And very shortly after they were raised and went to fight, Kentucky was conquered by the Union. So the only part of Kentucky that kind of remained part of the Confederacy was the very eastern part. The mountains and stuff, right? But the middle and the west part, the nice flat farmland parts, they pretty much got handled by the Union pretty handily. And they went ahead and, surrendered because that's, you had no choice. So they surrendered. No shame on them. But because then all of those Kentucky regiments that were in the field fighting the war didn't have a home state, they got called the Kentucky, the Orphan Brigade.
Yeah, hey.
How you doing, homie?
Oh, good.
What's going on with you? What you got going on? What you want to talk about besides World War II and weeb shit?
I got to play that Monday game. Bubba's game.
Huh?
Bubba's game.
Oh, you got to play with Bubba? How'd that go?
Oh, pretty good, I think.
He
We
didn't
had
hate ya, he told you see you next week.
yeah.
Well, that's good then.
Yeah, we got to a fight with 3 different slimes, and there were what 5 of us in the game. Which, well, I mean, with hirelings, 3 players.
Right.
We had a little trouble killing those things.
Slimes can be an issue, bro.
Yeah, no, but the DM didn't think we'd have that much trouble. We had a issue where 4 turns in a row, nobody hit anything.
Yeah, that just happens sometimes, man.
I know. That started off pretty good though. First 2 rounds, I hit like the slime twice.
I'll see. Now that camera works, I can put my hat on.
Then, but it started off by hitting me pretty hard. I could have died.
For those of you who don't know, this is called a kepi.
Yep, you got a Confederate hat.
Or, well, I mean, Union. They're the same design. That was just,
just different color.
Just a different color. Same design, same material entirely. I have the bugle coming to go on the top.
Nice.
Yeah. Because for some reason during the Civil War and before, the bugle was what designated infantry. And then at some later time, I don't know when, because I forget, they went with the crossed rifle instead. Whereas even during the Civil War, they denoted cavalry with crossed sabers. So, yeah, I got a recreation. You know, I mean, it's all leather and wool and made, and really nicely made, and you know. And I thought, yeah, cool.
You know, it is a little worrying though. Whenever you introduce yourself to the other player characters, and the player characters start talking about how they're probably gonna kill you.
What?
I know. That's what I was thinking. I was like, what? I'm certain.
No, you tell them no. We're going to become the greatest of friends because we're going to help each other survive.
Yeah, they didn't mean it like they'd be directly the ones killing me, but taking me on as a companion. Apparently, I'm just like sitting here.
Oh yeah, they're like,
I may have made a terrible mistake though, because they're like, well, let's see how we're going to get him killed. It's like, well,
they're like, hold on a minute here.
Certainly regretting my choices now.
It's like, so will there be funeral expenses paid? I mean, I don't know if you ever read The Hobbit, but in The Hobbit, part of the deal for Bilbo to join the dwarves is that they promised funeral expenses if necessary.
Okay, fair.
I mean, they had a whole contract, like how much money he would get, etc. And part of it was that they would pay for funeral expenses if necessary.
Apparently, they had like a halfling hireling that they had, and that halfling died, and they're just making jokes about me happening to me.
I got my 86 Chris knife, the small ones.
Actually, almost did happen this session, I guess, because that one attack almost killed me.
Well, took me down I mean, it depends. I mean, you're fighting slimes, right? What kind of slimes?
They were amber colored, and they have the ability to paralyze.
Oh, anything that can paralyze you is just nightmare.
Yeah, their paralysis are more like slow.
Still, I mean, that's nightmare fuel.
It's going well for us. Two players got hit by that and got paralyzed, and well,
that's what I'm saying. I mean, you get paralyzed, and it's just like, well,
every other turn they could attack, and that's about it.
Okay, yeah, you're like, this is great. I'm loving this.
Also, Johnny Bravo almost died. He was at 1 HP.
Who?
It was the hireling. They called John Bravo.
Johnny Bravo.
Yes.
Really? That's
Yes.
funny. So anyway, it sounded like you had a good time though.
I did. Although I'm probably going to, in between this time and next time, make a backup character just in case.
Oh, it's always a good idea to have a backup character. Yeah.
It's like one attack just got me down to half health.
Well, I mean, because I told you when you
Level
started,
18.
you're playing old school.
Yeah, no.
I mean, not as deadly as Doom.
Technically, I don't think it's as deadly as RuneQuest.
No,
RuneQuest, I mean,
because I mean, at least you got that buffer hit points. And Dune, I mean,
Yeah.
somebody beats you bad enough in a dagger fight, that could be a one-shot kill. You know what I mean?
in RuneQuest, you could
Freaking-
actually literally have a character with like 3 HP.
Yep.
And
But-
there's not really a way to fix that. That's going to be your HP basically the whole day, the whole time.
Yeah, because your con or whatever so low.
Yeah.
You know how RuneQuest was created, right?
Yeah, I know a bit of it.
Yeah. The
Really,
guy who created RuneQuest, I think his name's Steve Perrin.
Yep.
He was
He's one of 'em.
also, in addition to playing AD&D, he was a huge SCA fan.
Yep.
And from playing the SCA, I would call it playing because honestly, you're stick jock, right? You're just out there doing your thing, right?
Just have,
He decided he wanted to make AD&D have a better combat system. And by the end of his bullshitting around, you end up with RuneQuest.
yeah, but really the setting that they really like using came out before that.
Well, I mean, the RuneQuest setting, that was just him doing him stuff, you know?
Yeah, Perrin's not the actual creator of that one, I don't think. It was somebody else.
Yeah. Because there was that period where there were a lot of people creating like alternative stuff. And they'd be like, can be used for the world's greatest role playing game. But, you know, also in that time period, freaking TSR was being super litigious. And that is, if there was a negative thing to say about Gary Gygax, it was the guy was overly litigious. He would sue people for stupid shit. And some of his lawsuits that he got caught up in the end, they actually hurt him really bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that happens.
And it was like, it made no sense because it's like, dude, you created this awesome thing. And now you're trying to make sure no one else can ever create anything awesome. That's just not the way you do it. You know what I mean?
No.
Like,
you need to be really careful with the whole lawsuit thing.
if there's anything we should all be thankful for, it is that knucklehead that bought D&D from TSR did the open game license. That was the greatest Chad move of all time.
Yeah, no, if only they could have kept it the proper way instead of, I don't know, ruining it over and over again.
Oh, they tried that thing, but Leth, I don't know if you know this or not, but it didn't work.
No, it doesn't. It never does.
When they tried, when like the corporate guys stepped in and tried to get back the and it turned out that no, the open game license cannot be revoked. It is for eternity, for always, forever.
I know, but them trying to change it middle way to.
I wish
make
Jose
new
was
rules.
here so I could show him this mech. Actually, I've got camera.
Nice. Also, it was Greg Stafford who came up with the idea of
Stafford, yeah. So, yeah, as you can see, this is one of the newer models for a Marauder. This is, I think, L variant. You can kind of tell because instead of plasma guns, if you look in its hand, it's where its arms are. If it focuses in, you'll see they're square. The squares are generally laser cannons. So this guy, instead of having the PPC in the arms, it's got a large laser, medium laser, large laser, medium laser, AC5.
Huh.
And that allows it to have a lot more options. Plus, it doesn't overheat every time you sneeze on it. You know what I mean? It can actually lay down sustained fire because the weight savings from dropping the PPCs allows it to have more heat sinks.
Apparently, Stafford got his start by making U-boat.
Hmm.
Or working on U-boat. Probably not making it, but
yeah. Gygax, I think, got his start making some kind of selling game. Like Boats of Wood, Men of Iron, or something like that. And plus, I mean, him and I think Perrin or Ward, one of them, they did some World War I fighter combat games,
which are cool.
They were involved in that. Well, I mean, you know, the time when you're playing a fighter aircraft and you literally have to be close enough to like see the other dude to do something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the better times of war.
Well, it's why we were saying, and we're not going to get into World War II. I swear, I'm not going to allow it. But it's why people do like it, is because there was so much variety in everything. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And World War II, which for some reason is kind of really the forgotten war. World War I, I mean. It's like a lot of people don't talk about World War I, as horrible as it was. And it was horrible. I mean, hundreds of thousands of men died in the Somme like every day. And that's even hard. I mean, put yourself in any position and try to imagine 100,000 soldiers dying a day. I mean,
it's horrifying.
Yeah. And, you know, you've got chlorine gas and mustard gas and trench foot eating your toes off and, you know, snipers behind every freaking brush. And, of course, that newfangled machine gun thing that, you know, of course, when the whistle blows, if you're British, you've got to stand up and get in a straight line and slowly march across no man's land, right?
How
At
about
which point the machine gun just chews you apart?
Yeah, but why? That's just wasting people.
Because okay. Avoiding World War II again. This goes back to the American Civil War in a way, right? The reason there were so many casualties in the American Civil War was because they were using 1815 tactics. So what we would call Napoleonic tactics, right? But the weapons they were using, rifled muskets firing mini balls, were incredibly accurate compared to anything that was being used during the Napoleonic War, right?
Yeah.
So that meant when two units of men boldly marched straight up at each other, got within a certain range, and fired their muskets, more often than not, they hit. And that's why you hear about whole regiments just get wiped out in seconds. You know what I mean? Well, fast forward to World War II. They're still fighting that semi-Franco-Prussian war kind of way. But there's machine guns. You know what I mean? And that changes everything. Because the idea of marching across no man's land and jumping in a trench and beating the shit out of your enemy and whatever, No, no, that's just not happening now because a 4-man crew on a Maxim machine gun can shut down an entire advance along a couple 100-yard line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's how they got whacked. Is they literally bombarded the German lines for like days with their artillery, but the Germans had dug their foxholes so deep underground that the artillery didn't do anything. And as soon as they heard the artillery stop, they ran out of their positions and set their machine guns up. So then when the British, thinking, hey, that artillery must have got the Krauts,
It didn't.
Whatever, it didn't. And they were just waiting with those Maxims. And it was just a murder fest of just wasted lives, just wasted life. Well, that's why when Trench Crusade first come out, I was like super hyped about it, because the idea of pile of paint can. This seems like the YouTuber thing. George, it is. This is my painting area. I allow myself exactly 8 square inches or cubic inches, whatever, to do all my painting. And the whole rest of my desk, which is 6 feet long, is for storing paint and various bits and bobs of whatever I might be working on at any given time. And then I decided to put myself on camera because I was showing off my Confederate kepi hat. However, like I told Leth, the bugle is coming, so I'll be promoted to lieutenant because the lieutenants wore the bugle on the top to let everyone know they were infantry. But I'm getting ready to wash these Atreides guys. And by wash, I mean put Nuln Oil on them. And then I'll do some more of the details. The flesh, of course, I'm doing separately from the uniform because it'll be a whole different kind of wash. But
talking about military stuff, though, James, have you ever heard of Ching Li?
Ching Li, see, you're doing some weeb shit. Nope.
Actually, not weeb shit, because Ching Li's actually a Kentuckian and not Chinese.
Ching Li.
Nickname was Ching, really.
Oh yeah. He was the crazy dude that was like, if you can be a sniper with a rifle, you can be a sniper with a cannon on a boat.
Yes.
Yeah, and they kept telling him he couldn't do shit, but he kept doing it. They kept trying to kick him out of the military for having bad eyesight.
Yeah, at first he tried to get into the army because of his eyesight, they wouldn't allow him. That's after he won 2 Olympic medals for shooting.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about now. You caught me off guard a little bit because, Ching Li. What do you think I'm going to think if you say Ching Li?
He was kind of a
kind of like when I was dating this Japanese woman. And like she had a pet name for me. Every time we had sex, she kept calling me Wong Ho. And I was always like, well, that's a cute pet name. But whatever. I stole that joke from my brother Hungar. I did.
Yeah, I know.
Because but yeah, I know all about Ching Li, man. That dude, yeah, he wins gold medals in marksmanship, but the Army won't let him in. So then he goes to the Navy and he starts teaching the Navy to start firing the guns on their boats as if they were sniper rifles. And he gets in a lot of trouble for basically being a freewheeling, I do what I want kind of guy. Except all the shit he wanted to do turned out to be the right thing to do.
Yeah, the right thing to do.
But, like the
he made his own stamp.
Like, no, we're not going to do it that way. And he'd be like, yeah, we are. And he'd do it that way anyway. And then they'd be like, you'd be in trouble, except
it worked.
You won the whole battle. It's like, we would have got massacred if not for you. So we'll skip the court martial this time.
He made his own stamp that said frantic just to get things done faster.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the thing. Yeah, because they thought they could keep him out of trouble by putting him into whatever part of the Navy it is that
It was like the
does
division
acquisitions and shit. And he
acquisition
just
stuff,
started acquisitioning shit. Like every ship had freaking radar. And
radar, all the AAs that they could fit.
yeah, he was putting all the AA guns that would fit on a ship. And
It's
the
like,
logistics department at the Pentagon was just like, what in the F is going on? And
I
they
just like
looked
it
at it
because
and it's Ching Lee strikes again. When Trench Crusade came out, they had the Crusader clad in icons. At the same time, Jordan Peterson wore a jacket covered in icons. Yeah, the problem with Trench Crusade is the initial artwork was really good. But then when the people responsible for making an actual game and lore happened, it turns out that they had no idea what the hell they were doing. No idea. And then they released a map of the world, and that map of the world just pissed everyone off. And then they start talking about how the Native Americans had advanced to basically the same level of technology as the Europeans. And they were talking about how adding them in as, and it's like, but are they good guys? I mean, are you trying to tell me the Aztecs are going to be fighting on the same side as the Christians? Because that does not seem plausible, right? Seems like the Aztecs right off the bat are going to be fighting for the forces of hell. Just because, literally all of their gods are evil, except for maybe Quetzalcoatl. But Tlaloc and the rest of them, they're all evil as shit. They're demons. And but I knew the game was going to be effed up when I read a dev diary about it, and they said they're going to do everything they could to make sure that there wasn't any colonialism. Therefore, that's why Finland isn't part of Russia, because originally Finland and the Baltic states were all part of the Russian Empire. And the Russian Empire isn't even the Russian Empire. But Ukraine somehow exists in a time when it didn't exist, It would have made sense if they had made basically, I could write a better freaking background than they could. The miniatures are cool, though. I mean, I've got my Orthodox miniatures that are fighting to liberate Constantinople. That's awesome. But yeah, they released the map and started trying to explain the lore, and it was just like, oh my God. Oh my God. What are you people thinking? And why are you? I mean, you're writing a game about a hellmouth opening up in Jerusalem and flooding the world with half demons, basically. But you don't want to get involved with colonialism. And then, of course, there were some people that trolled the shit out of the Troll Lord creators by being like, so will you be creating units that fight for hell that are made up completely of just like trans people and homosexuals? And the actual writers for the game just, it's like their CPUs just overheated. You know what I mean? Because they realized, holy shit, if the Christians are the good guys, and beyond a shadow of a doubt, Christ is a real thing, and all of the commandments are real things, then LGBT people all have to fight for hell. But they didn't want to say that because, the actual people behind Trench Crusade are super progressive. Well, it's always time to reflect and make sure that your thoughts are your own. I'll say that, George. But getting back to Trench Crusade, yeah, they just effed it all up. Like somehow a hellmouth opened up in northern Finland. It's like, what? Also, and Arch talked a lot about this, and I like Arch. I don't think he's right all the time, but I do like him. And he was like, according to this map, you're trying to sell us on the fact that hell is winning, right? But the map they released, it was like the Christians are crushing it. You know what I mean? Like hell is getting their asses whipped. And it's like, so, I mean, what's going on here? Right? You know, is like, almost bought some Rebs, was on sale at Sprue Dude. Are you talking about the ones the Perry brothers did? Because I will tell you, they're awesome. And I also bought the big super deluxe starter set for the miniatures Civil War guys. They're like 13 or 14 millimeter. And they all, you know, and I painted up a bunch of them. I haven't painted the barn or anything yet, but yeah. But yeah, the Perry Brothers Rebels. Well, here's the thing, though. Honestly, you can just buy Perry Brothers whatever, and unless it's a special unit like the Wisconsin guys or whatever, paint them how you want, because both sides were generally wearing the same uniform. You know what I mean? So, yes, I have a Perry Brothers Union and Confederate Army because I tend to make both, so that when friends come over, I can be like, hey, can I interest you in a game? And I let them pick which one they want to play because I'm not like super whatever about it. And we use black powder, and it's a good little game. You know, it's a good little game. Whether you're playing at 28 millimeter or 14 or 15, whatever they are. I was lucky because I got the set that came with the generals. So I got Grant, Lee, like I got a handful of the major generals in metal that are the right scale to go with the armies. So very exciting stuff. One of these days, I need to convince somebody to play that game with me. You know, set up the table and just have our regiments all lined up and stuff. I play Civil War Generals sometimes on Steam. And I'll be honest with you, I have never, there's a battle after Chickamauga, and I have never been able to win that as the Confederates. But as the Union, it's like every battle's easy, you know? So if you want to win, you play Union because it's super easy mode. And if you want a hard time, you play the Confederacy because that is hard mode right there, you know? You don't get as much reinforcements. You don't get as good of weapons. So it really does require the player to use every trick in the book to try to tilt the odds in their favor, you know. But it's a great game, though. I will say that. Civil War General is a great game. You can set your men up in different formations, you know. And like I like to set my guys up and then, hey, what's up, nerd? I like to set my infantrymen up and then have some cannons mixed in so that, you know, I can bombard the enemy infantry as they're walking towards me. And when they get close, give them the old grape shot treatment. And yeah. And if you're lucky by the third or fourth battle, you get enough money and stuff. that you can start converting your smoothbore rifles over to rifle, or your smoothbore muskets over to rifled muskets, which gives you a lot more range. I have painted because I watched the movie recently, and I believe this was a thing. This guy had some kind of gold thing, and I need to figure out what color the tabs on the front are. He's not wanting to focus in. I wonder if it's because of the black skin, or it could be because my fingers are in front, because sometimes if you put your fingers in front, sometimes if I do that, it'll focus in. Let's see. Come on now. Let's grab it back here. So it has no choice. There it is. So I'm painting that collar gold, and I think that the front tabs are a color too. And the shoes are a different color too. You got 8 this morning. Were you out there effing around and a worm got you? The wife told me this morning you called me last night.
Hey, James, I'm going to have to go. I'll see you.
You got to go. Okay.
Yep.
Catch you later, bro. Yeah, the wife told me you called last night, but by the time you called, I was already freaking done and out. So if you want to jump in chat, you can tell me about it. Because I don't intend to sit here and read everything you say. I'm concentrating on shit. I got stuff going on over here. You need to understand. What did you lose too? I'm interested. The link's up top. If you need me to put a new link in, I will. All you got to do is say. Mom said I have to always invite you. But yeah. So Leth got to play some D&D with Bubba. That's good. I mean, Bubba's got... Oh, there you are. Hungar the Starvarian. Love it. We're staring at paint and us like here.
I just lost my buggy with my Mark V cutter ray on it.
How are you getting all these Mark V cutter rays, man?
I harvest a lot of stuff.
No, you go to Warren's and you steal his freaking...
No, me and Warren went out and did dungeons last night.
Temperature, whatever gauge thing. There's like one part I need a couple of.
What's those? I might have it.
It's like, it looks like a flat little part, and it's like a something temperature something.
And it's like flat with blue.
Yeah, and I need enough of them to make a cutter ray so that I can actually cut stuff in the deep desert.
I've got some in my boxes. You can have them.
Okay, well, where do you get them?
Deep desert.
So like research stations and shit in the deep desert?
Yeah, that's where I got mine. I got those. Got them there, and I got them in other chests.
Did you and him go into the research stations?
Yeah.
How difficult are they?
Oh, well, we went in after somebody else had been there, not knowing that somebody else had been there. So we only had
everything was cleared out.
We only had like 1 or 2 fights.
Well, how difficult were those 1 or 2 fights?
Not hard at all. Harder than like in the regular, like in Haga Basin. But I just stood back and dropped my dang
turret.
Yeah. What pisses me off is I just repaired that 50,000 Solari sword that takes like spice infused duraluminum,
Yeah. And now
and
it got 8.
now it got 8.
That is horrible. And I am sorry to hear that.
And I didn't have anything in my buggy because I was cruising out. As soon as I got like out in the, I ran right into freaking sink sand,
Yeah.
and it wouldn't let me back out of it or anything. And while I'm trying to back out of it, the worm came. So I jumped out and I started running, and the worm was like, "Hey, guess what? I'm gonna eat you," and it did. I should have just let the desert kill me.
Yeah, because if you let the desert kill you, you respawn with all your shit.
Yeah,
But if you got out and ran and the worm killed you, then sorry about your luck. So, what game do you think we should play next week?
it's up to you.
I'm asking you.
You know, I have no preference. I'm the wrong person to ask. I'm gonna play whatever.
I mean, should we play Get Back to the OSC, whatever we were doing? I forget. Or should we continue on with the Dune game?
I think what you should do is put it up to the entire group in a group chat.
Yeah, but you're one of the brothers, and the brothers get preferential treatment.
Did the monster like Dune?
In the beginning, no. By the end, yes. That was actually the result with both of the ladies. In the
Okay.
beginning, they complained. And then as soon as they started interacting with NPCs and plotting and getting sucked into the actual storyline, like Tracy's character, Lady Elizabeth Becca, she's got a meeting. She's got to set up a secret meeting, actually, with the lady of a Bene Gesserit's sister, who is also a noble of House Manticoris, who's basically during their dinner with the Duke sent her some Bene Gesserit hand signs, about we need to talk and shit like that. So at that point, she started getting like into it because now her character was fully involved in what was going on. And plus she charmed the hell out of the water salesman, the representative from the Water Guild, the guys that mine the ice in the polar caps.
Yeah, they hate me.
Yeah, she charmed the hell out of them. So they're offering to give her a deal on water, which is still way more than you would hope, but better than their normal price. So, because I mean, her house, they only sent them so much in their house account. They only have so many Solaris, right?
Yeah.
So, at a point, they're going to have to start trying to figure out how to make their own Solaris, which I think they've got it figured out because the house water traps can generate somewhere around 100 liters a day. And if they can trade water to the smugglers for spice, that would definitely be a good cash stream. You know what I mean? Not a reliable one, because at any second the smugglers could get caught by one of the great houses or the Sardaukar and completely wiped out. But an option.
Well, my opinion is if the girls were into the game and if the guys,
the guys loved it.
Well,
Jeff said point blank that he loved the game. It was way better than Vampire. He once he figured out the character creation during play part, he was like, oh yeah. And then they all got XP. And this game is weird because the worse you do in the game and the more fucked up shit that happens to you in the game, the more XP you get.
So let's play some Dune.
Right. So since Rob got hit with a hunter killer and had all this stuff happen to him that was really bad, he got 2 more XP than everyone else.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because that's how it works. And of course, the assassins managed to hunt down an assassin that was hiding in the house and stab him in the neck with a poisoned flip tip dagger. So he's dead. Which, me personally, I would have thought it better to try to capture the guy
Yeah.
and question him, put him, because, I mean, Lady Elizabeth in the house, she's got the voice. So she could have, I mean, if she was going to question somebody, she could throw her Bene Gesserit witchery ways on it. But instead, the House Mentats were looking for blood. You know what I mean? Because the guy had attempted to kill the Lady Elizabeth and very nearly killed the Swordmaster, Robert.
I want to play Dune, but
That's what we'll do.
I just want to make sure that everybody at the table is enjoying it as much as me,
Well, here's the thing I came up with, so why I threw it down. And people watching out there, you may agree or disagree with this as you will, but I decided I wanted to play Dune, and I didn't give a fuck.
I want to play Dune too. You know that. I've been wanting to play Dune.
So I busted everything out, which everything is a book and some character sheets and shit like that, some dice. And that's just what we did. Because I decided I was going to run a game for me.
I've been wanting to play Dune since the day you got the Dune book and was showing it off.
Yeah, I finally had to take the shrink wrap off of it. Not that I used it because I've got the PDF on my computer. And Big Rob found the PDF online somewhere. So he was like, looking everything up. Like all the guys and even the ladies were like, the ladies weren't raving, but the guys were. Every one of them was. Like, especially Tony.
Well, Tony was. I know Tony was.
Yeah, because he's a Dune fanatic anyway.
Almost as much as we are.
Yeah, almost as much as we are. So, like, we were talking about how Mentats can talk, and the other guy, Jason, playing a Mentat, he didn't know. So Tony found that scene from the movie where Super Hiowitz sending a message. And he's like, listen to this. And he played it to him. Jason's like, holy shit, we can talk like that? And he's like, yes. And he's like,
Remember when I had to be in quarantine for whooping cough?
That was like 20 years ago, but yeah, I remember somewhat.
Yeah, I watched Dune at least 3 times a day.
Which one?
The old, well, it was like 20 years ago, so of course it was the old one.
I've got the sci-fi miniseries on DVD.
I like the sci-fi series.
Well, it's like I say, the David Lynch Dune is the most epic Dune. It really is. It really leans into the mythology of the Lisan al-Gaib and all of that shit. Kwisatz Haderach, which it gets wrong by calling Paul the Kwisatz Haderach. But anyway, but the sci-fi version follows the books way more.
Yeah.
Like they're almost dead on to the books. And then, of course, the new version just has great special effects. And good casting. I mean, I like Momoa as Duncan. I thought, he's all right.
The kid they got to play Paul, they got a good Paul.
Yeah, he's not bad. And I could complain about parts of the movie, but I'm not going to.
No, Zendaya was the worst casting ever.
Yeah, that was the thing. The only way they could have made the movie like more annoying to me is if they'd cast Pedro Pascal as Duke Leto.
Yeah,
But let's be honest, though, he probably would have killed it. You know what I mean?
true.
Whether you like him or not, yeah, he probably would have been a great Duke Leto. The problem with Pablo Pascal and Zendaya is they just keep putting them in movies. And it's like no one wants to see them.
They don't need to be in every freaking thing that they put out.
It's like Disney. Do you have to put these actors in every movie? I mean, give somebody else a break over here. I mean, and Pablo Pascal, I mean, I haven't liked him since he insisted that the Mandalorian take his helmet off.
If it had kept his helmet on, it'd have been cooler.
Yeah, because it was just like that's just arrogance, It's kind of like Stallone when he decided to do the really shitty Judge Dredd movie.
Or Will Smith when he was playing Deadshot.
Right. And it's like part of the contract is that he would only wear the helmet X amount of time during the movie. Because he's like, I'm a movie star. I want people to see my face. And it's like, you don't understand Judge Dredd then. Yeah, and you're right. You're right. There's this whole deal where you take this ultra beautiful red-headed desert woman, Chani, and you keep making her less and less attractive as the movies go on. Until you end up with Zendaya, who, one, I don't think is very attractive at all. And two, she looks like she's got a pants full of shit. She literally looks like she's pooped herself. That is her face. Her resting face is, I've shit myself.
You see, it's so bad. You know how big of a Spider-Man fan I've always been.
Yeah.
I've only watched one of the new Spider-Man movies, and the kid they got to play Spider-Man is cool, but casting fucking Zendaya as Mary Jane.
Well, there's this weird tradition in Hollywood to replace redheads in everything with black people.
Yeah, because redheads.
And it's like specifically redheads.
Well, I seen online the other day that redheads are actually black now. They got
will be.
They got La Paz and everything.
Well, only a ginger can call another ginger a ginger.
Yeah. You gotta call us gingers.
So, like, if you're a ginger and you see another ginger, you can be like, "What up, my ginger?" But other people can't do that.
Other people gotta say ginger.
They can't say any of it. They can't use the G word.
I can.
But yeah, you are right. 100%, George. They do not, even though the David Lynch Chani at least was pretty when she let her hair down, because it was the same lady that played Rachel.
Yeah,
so she's very attractive. But
Sean Young was hot back in the day.
Right. But Haas, I got the character for you. I think you saw him.
Oh, Luke Cage, I was the first one to say something in the chat. As soon as I see it, I was like, my brother got a Luke Cage.
Because I know you like this superhero a lot.
Yeah, because he's a badass.
If we were going to play a superhero game ever, say Heroic gets done or something, if you want to, you could use this figure to represent whatever your character was. And whatever powers you want. You know what I mean?
I've decided on which superhero. I mean, Daredevil is always like my favorite. And Daredevil will always be my favorite. But if I could have any superhero power, I would want Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah, but I already said no Dr. Manhattans.
I'm just saying in real life.
Come on, focus.
If I got stuck with superhero power in real life, fuck a bunch of
There
Wolverine.
he is. Look at him.
Yeah.
I got to paint his eyes white, though.
I love Deadpool too, but like you said yesterday, I would never want to have Deadpool's powers.
You know, the constantly getting tore apart by cancer in all of you.
Yeah, rampant cancer.
Just rampant cancer constantly. You know how much pain he's got to be in, like on the daily.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You're supposed to crap in your still suit. Yep.
Yeah.
And it pumps all of the moisture out and purifies it, and then all the other stuff just gets dumped out like a dry pellet in the desert.
Well, I'm not wearing a still suit, so I'm not crapping in my still suit.
But okay, let's say Zendaya doesn't look like her still suit's full of poop. She looks like she really has to poop, though. And for some reason she can't, but she really needs to.
Yeah, she got that
Let's just say that.
constipation face.
Yeah, let's just say she's got a constipation face.
Now, unpopular opinion, but this shit never happened on Harvey Weinstein's watch.
Harvey Weinstein. You're right. I don't know that I agree with that. And I do agree that is probably a very unpopular opinion. But it's true too, though. You know, it's like things can be not a good opinion and still be true. It's like, huh. I mean, that's something. Let's see what this is going to look like.
Yeah,
Huh?
that statement is a little controversial.
Well, I mean, but anyway, yeah, I'm so sick and tired of, you know how they talk about all the various fatigues,
Yeah.
like white people getting black fatigue and black people got white fatigue. I got Pablo Pascal fatigue. It's like, he's not a bad actor. I'm just so sick of seeing him in every movie.
That movie he did with Nick Cage was hilarious.
Oh, yeah. 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 Yeah, it's short for genetically engineered life form.
Gelf?
Yeah.
What are they talking about Gelfs for?
I don't know. Oh, because a lot of these women are getting like all of this work done, and like they end up looking like gelflings.
Yes, they do.
And it's like, was that the goal, to look like a gelfling?
Are you
because if that was the goal, you definitely hit it. You look like a gelfling.
Are you going out of your way to make yourself ugly?
But you know, like apparently Bezos was not aware his wife was getting all that work done before they got married. And the rumor mill, which you know you can't ever trust, is that Jeff Bezos is kind of pissed off about that.
That's grounds for divorce in Korea.
Should be grounds for divorce anywhere.
Yeah, when Korean guys
in Ireland, if your woman got fat, that was grounds for divorce. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Like if you married her and she was fat, it wasn't. But if you married her and she was like skinny and hot, and then she put on like a shit ton of weight, yeah, you could take her down to the local druid, because they were acting like the judges, and complain about it, and they could give you a divorce right on the spot. Well, sometimes though they would give her a time period to basically get back fit. You know,
There's so much plastic surgery in Korea. It just runs rapid, right? That
yeah, like one of their number one operations is to make their eyes round.
yeah,
It's like,
that guys end up marrying these chicks and then find out that they're freaking chuds,
yeah.
and like then they have
So
ugly
that's a good
babies.
color for a deck, I think. Oh, why do I got this?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a good color for the deck. So
They have
I
babies
got
that
the
find
ropes
out that
along
the
the side
babies,
I need to do. This is a Macedonian chip. You can tell by that. Tell.
the babies look nothing like the father because the woman had so much plastic surgery it comes out looking like a mutant, and they're like, "Yep, this ain't right."
Well, I mean, men get a lot of plastic surgery in Korea too.
Yeah, I'm fine
South
with
Korea is like one of the most materialistic, like messed up places.
Yeah, and it's all everybody's like so super fashion conscious. It's like if you're not wearing the right clothes and blah 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 yakety smackety big bowl of crappity, it's a big deal.
Well, I mean, that's the whole point of the song Gangnam Style.
Yeah,
Gangnam is actually a neighborhood uh, in Seoul, I believe, where all the richest people live and everyone else wants to live. Because just living in Gangnam makes you better than anyone else that does it.
oh,
Like in that video game we played, the Five Hearts Under One Roof.
yeah.
The main reason the three of the four women were living there is because you had an address in Gangnam, and that was a big deal, so that they could tell people that they lived in Gangnam.
I switched
I
from
mean, super freaking superficial, you know.
I switched from still suit to light armor. I'm wearing light mercenary armor now.
Still suits are great if you're just going to run around and explore and get all of the research things, because after a certain level, you don't get research points anymore. You got to actually go out and find them.
I know. I found that out.
And so still suits are absolutely amazing if you're just running around and you don't plan on getting into, major throwdown firefights and shit like that. But if you're going to raid a, outlaw bandit camp or something, you're going to find that a heavy with those damn machine guns will rip that still suit to shit quicker than you can even blink. Like you'll be like, I got a still suit, and then you'll be like, I'm dead. Huh. I wear heavy armor.
And Warren switched to light armor or scout armor because of how much you're talking about how much better it was.
It is good, but I decided to just say F it, go with the heaviest armor, take the hit, because when you're wearing the heavy armor, you end up getting like a huge penalty towards blade weapons.
Yeah,
but
and
you get such a maximum versus ranged weapons.
Yeah, but your stamina just drops so bad.
Not if you're a swordmaster and you train up to where you get like the more water in your system, the more percentage bonus stamina. So that's why I carry the Decalitajon. As long as I keep my water full, I have 2.5 bars of stamina.
I've got 1.5
bars. Yeah, come and get it. You know what I'm saying? I got stamina. And also after learning how to fight with my sword, I realized that even with the fact that the enemies I were fighting were getting bonuses because of my lack of mitigation, I'm still wrecking them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So at that point, I was like, okay, I'll just make myself immune to the guys. So sometimes I'll jump into a fight. I will ignore the guy with the machine gun firing at me, kill the knife guy real quick, and then turn on the guy with the machine gun.
I always
Because
go
with a
after
level 5 shield and a level 5 power generator, it's like, most ranged weapons are just not going to do it.
Yeah, you always go after the knife guy first.
Yeah, you got to kill that knife guy. Because, I mean, if you try to go after the gun guy, the knife guy will run up behind you and jack your ass up. And that'll just be the end of that. So, yeah, you don't ever let the knife guy run loose in the streets because, did you ever figure out who Sakara is?
No.
I keep seeing them log on to Dune.
I know there's somebody that played Conan with us.
It's not freaking your Hitler's youth friend, is it?
No, Justin's name is Justin.
Is he going to play Dune or no?
I don't know. He said that he's going to give it a month or so while it's out before he gets it, just to make sure it's not a waste of money.
I can't say it's a waste of money because I've already put 600 hours, 700 hours into it.
Yeah, I can't say it's a waste of money because it's freaking awesome.
So it's like, if I were to quit today, I would 100% still feel like I definitely got my money's worth. You know what I mean?
Hey, I'd drive down to Florida and kick you right in your testicles. I just drive down there and be like, right into testiculars.
Free water. Yeah. Yeah. Because if you're not able to defend yourself, that's all you are, George. Like everybody, maybe not my brother, but I bet you he does. I know I do. Pretty much everyone is carrying a sanguinator of some type.
Warren found one that is just so badass. Not only does it take it's super efficient, so it takes a super amount of blood from people.
Yeah, mine takes 2,500 per person.
Yeah, but his also, whatever blood he can't fit into his thing, turns into poison for his blade.
Yeah, so everybody's carrying a desanguinator. So you kill somebody, the first thing you do is immediately drain their body of all fluids.
I don't carry blood sacks all the time with me because they do weigh a lot, the large blood sacks.
Yeah, I carry 3.
But when I go out for blood, I take 5 of them with me.
I carry 3 no matter what, and my Decalita John. And there have been a few times, I have to admit, guys, I've been desperate enough to just drink the blood straight without even transferring it over to water.
I keep my Decalita John full. Damn.
I mean, sometimes you run out of water, but you still got blood. And it's like, do I want to die or do I want to feel sick but drink blood? And the answer to that, my friends, is I'll take the sickness and drink the blood.
I take the bellyache. Yeah.
Yeah, because, drinking blood does make you feel sick, but it's better than dehydration, which makes you feel dead.
Oh, I know how bad dehydration is.
Yeah, so.
There's 2 spice blooms just exploded right. One right between mine and Warren's house, and the other one just right down the street.
Dude, I had a spice bloom blow up the other day. I was flying over, so I landed, started compacting it. The worm was coming, so I got in my helicopter and just flew straight up. And I waited a minute, and after I saw the worm go away, I landed and picked up all the stuff I compacted. and then recompacted some more, and then did the same thing when the worm showed up. So me and this worm were just playing, hide and seek, and I ended up getting enough spice to make like 4 or 5 spice melange.
That is the best way to do it.
Yeah, I wish I had Gurney's freaking light boots, but I don't. So
I had Duncan's boots until I got 8 for the first time.
Yeah. One of them, it's either Duncan or Gurney got the boots that makes it where the worm is less attracted to you.
40%
game in MMO, George. Yes, it is. There are some people who would say it's an MMO light. It's basically like Conan Exiles, except 10 times larger, with a lot more servers and a lot more stuff to do, and lots of other players. And also there's PvP zones and stuff like that too, which I go into the PvP zones with like pure insolence now. Like I see a starship crashed or some shit, I'll just roll right in that bitch. Because I've got to the point where I don't even care, if I get killed. It's like, fucking bring it, I'm in here. I'm going to go ahead and get me some freaking equipment and shit. And if we got to have a fight, we'll have a fight. You know what I'm saying? Don't make me use my Bennu whatever conditioning on that ass. Or the voice, because I will use the voice on a motherfucker.
That's what I like to do.
And then they stand there for a second and you just put the slow blade in them.
I like to throw down my turret and then use the voice on people.
See, I don't do that. I use the voice and just kill them. But if there's a lot of them, then the turret comes out. And once the turret comes out, I just try to like kite them around the turret. Pranu Bindu, yes. My character has the Pranu Bindu conditioning. So I can do Kung Fu. And there's even like, I have the skill where I'll be in a knife fight and all of a sudden I'll do like a kick and do like a flurry of kicks and punches and shit, which stuns my opponent, which allows me with my dagger to slow blade and put them out of their misery, So yes, I am a male that has been taught Bene Gesserit ways, and believe me, it was the greatest pain in the ass. The greatest pain in the ass.
See, I didn't know that you were going to be able to cross-train all your classes, so I started out as a Bene Gesserit.
Which is the hardest class. Bene Gesserit's the hardest class, and the second hardest class is Swordmaster. And you can be all of the classes, but that don't mean you can activate all of the skills from the classes. So depending on what skills you pick will determine on how your character plays. So if you want to blend like Mentat and Sniper, or which Mentat's good to blend with Trooper, because Mentats get a lot of skills that make them really good with sniper rifles.
See, I'm a blend of Bene Gesserit and Swordmaster with a touch of Mentat.
Yeah, you copied me.
I copied Success.
Yeah, well, I guess my name is Success and not Jameis. And here I thought you were a friend of Jameis.
I remember Jameis.
No, Jameis was a friend of mine.
Yeah.
He taught me that when you kill, you pay for it.
Jameis was a friend of mine. He taught me that he liked to talk shit and get a dagger stuck through his guts. Jameis is a friend of mine. He taught me F-O-F-A or F-A-F-O.
He taught me FAFO. Is there a healer class? Not really, kinda. The Bene Gesserit have a lot of abilities that are passive abilities. that you can equip that just make your character freaking basically regenerate health. Because they say it's because as a Bene Gesserit, you have so much control over your body, you can literally just heal it. But otherwise, you just got to carry a lot of med packs and shit.
The thing is, if you want to be a Bene Gesserit to start,
Yeah.
you have to be a female character.
You have to be female to start. But once the game has started, if you can find a trainer and do the hilariously long, pain in the ass quest, then you can get some training from a couple of rogue Bene Gesserit who aren't supposed to train you, but, you know, because you do a bunch of bullshit for them, they will.
And they're pissed off enough at the Bene Gesserit anyway.
Yeah. And they're already mad at the sisterhood for other shit. So, you know, it is what it is. Of course, make sure if you ever decide to play and you go the Bene Gesserit route to cut Margot Finring a wide berth. You do not want to. Jameis had some mighty fine wine. Yeah. Jameis was a bullfrog. See, now, if you're the kind of guy, George, that likes games like Minecraft and shit like that, you would like this game just because you can, if you want, just cruise around gathering building materials and building your base. And your big base is actually really big, right? But you can, if you want to pay the taxes, you can expand upon that shit until you've got like a full acre of land you're building on, you know? And like my house, because I'm super lazy, I have like 6 wind traps and a shit ton of windmills and power generators and shit like that. And so I'm always generating water.
And you get to fly around in a Thopter.
Yeah, eventually you gather enough equipment like stuff, aluminum and whatever. You can build a personal Thopter and just fly around in that bitch. And like I said, the world is huge. It is super. As a matter of fact, it's like 3 worlds because you've got the Haga Basin, which is where most people live and do their adventuring. And then you've got the overworld, which you use to travel between like Arakeen and Harco City and whatever else you're doing. And then on top of that, if you're in the overworld, you can go to the deep desert, which is like 10 times bigger than the Haga Basin. But the problem is most of the deep desert straight up PvP. And on top of that, the worms out there tend to be a bit more aggressive. However, the loot out there is the top loot in the game.
I taught Warren something yesterday about the overmap.
What's that?
He's like, I don't know why they say that there's water supply and fuel supply when you can't use them out here in the world map. I was like, dude, all you do is you fly your Thopter thing over it and let it sit there.
Yeah. And
you
it
just
automatically does the thing.
And it'll fill it up for you.
Do you know the other secret, which for you guys don't matter, but for me does?
What's that?
If I take off from my house and I fly directly north towards the shield wall, I can enter the overworld, fly around the Haga Basin to the south side, enter the Haga Basin, and be in Shul.
Yeah.
Without having to fly all the way across Haga Basin.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a little thing you can do. It's not cheating, but it kind of is.
I can step off like 700 spice sand at Warren's place.
Well, I mean, that'll give him 7 melange.
Yeah,
And the problem is, like, a lot of that late game equipment requires,
a
like,
lot
if
of
I want to make a large metal refinery, it takes like 5 melange.
yeah.
In addition to like all the other shit.
Yeah, the thermoelectric cooler, I've got 35 of them in my chest here at my base. You can have them.
Okay. Next time I'm down on that side of Haga base, and I'll hop in. And I only need 7.
Okay, well, you can have the 7 when you come down here. Or when you log on, just let me know and I'll fly them out to you. I don't care.
Yeah, but right now I'm painting up somebody's worst nightmare.
Right now, I'm playing Doom. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a Gamma World monster called a something bloom, death bloom. But it's basically a mutated plant that drags itself around and kills things. And then once it kills the things, it, burrows its roots into the thing's body. And then it just sits there like a plant, absorbing nutrients and photosynthesizing. But then once it runs out of, the fertile soil in the area where it's at, then it has to go find, something more fertilizer, let's say. Its mouth is going to be like a really bright purple. Can you eat the melange? Yes, you can. My character's been, you lads hear about Ozzy? No, come on. Don't tell me Ozzy died. I mean, I know I'm of an age where everybody's dying, but damn it. That's what he's going to say. I have a feeling. And my feelings are pretty good. You know that, right, Haas?
Yep.
My feelings are pretty good. Like if me and Hungar were like sci-fi people, I would be Beeblebrox and he would be Ford. Hungar's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
The guy who got voted president of the galaxy because everybody thought it they were voting for the worst dressed entity in the universe.
Yeah. And yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I knew it. I just the way he said, "Did you hear about Ozzy?" I was like, I didn't even know dude was sick. I thought he was doing a concert, had a tour coming up or some shit.
Yeah.
Damn, man. I mean, no one can be surprised though, can we?
Now he was 76 and he did a lot of drugs.
76 is too young for a man to die, but he did do a lot of drugs. So, yeah, he was totally fucked up.
Keith Richards just experienced the quickening again.
Yeah. Oh, it's so weird that they call him the Prince of Darkness since he was Christian. And like everybody in Black Sabbath was Christian. They got I watched a documentary about it, and it's like they got this weird, unearned reputation for being all satanic and shit, and they weren't. They sung about some edgy boy shit, but they were not Satanists. Not at all.
Yeah, he had a big cross on his front door.
Yeah, I mean, one of their first shows was at the Catholic church he used to go to. So, but there was another band in Britain at that time that had a very similar name. Like, it wasn't Black Sabbath, it was like Blood Sabbath or some shit. And they were really leaning into the whole, look at us, we're devil worshippers angle that rockers were doing back then. And somehow or another, Black Sabbath blew up and got popular, and they got that rep added to them, even though they had nothing to do with that. It was just bad luck. And we don't want nothing at all. Right?
Yep.
You know what that's from, right?
Yep.
No? Hey, lady, it's against the rules to throw another person's head.
At least you gotta let's throw your head.
Now we got to throw your head. Yeah. That's right. The movie they made about David Bowie's crotch cup.
That's a great movie and a great crotch cup.
Yep. And David Bowie played a great elf, goblin, whatever the hell he was. Yes, Mobius, I've got 2 cameras. You can see me up here in like not very good definition, which probably makes me look more handsome. And then you can see my messy desk and the various miniatures I'm working on. Since I had this green out, and I'm really liking this green, I decided I would finally go ahead and paint these Gamma World plant monster things. So, yeah. And you noticed, maybe, you said, oh my God, but that plant monster thing is not even primed. And the reason is when I'm using normal paint, like normal Vallejo paint, not speed paints, you do not have to prime 3D printed miniatures like the resin miniatures, because the resin they're made of is so porous, it will literally suck paint in.
I watched Staccato's show this morning. He was doing some painting. Showed off. Yeah.
He's a good guy. I love Staccato.
Yeah, he did a live stream this morning. It's like the first time I'd ever seen him do a live stream. He's got an epic beard.
Well, you know, ex-cop.
Massive.
Decided F it, gonna grow a beard out.
He was showing, he got these owlbear rug minis.
Owlbear rugs?
Yeah.
That's funny.
They look really, really good too.
It's like it serves no purpose other than being really cool.
Exactly.
It's like if you're setting up an encounter, you throw a couple of owlbear rugs down. The players know right off the bat that whatever lives in that area done skinned a couple of owlbears.
Yeah, it's like, you know, you don't mess around here.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, it's not shocking because, you know, like somebody said, you hit a point in your life to where you go to a lot more funerals than weddings. And I think I'm at that point in my life. I think that's where I am, you know. But
you know, bro, I've decided that if I outlive you at your funeral, I am going to hire just the most flaming homosexual dude to cry like he lost the love of his life.
That would be funny. The problem is I don't know how you could find someone more flaming than yourself.
Yeah, but you could eat a dick.
That's right. Uno reverso, mother.
That was fucked up and good at the same time, bro.
Like,
we need to do that. If you know, yeah, I'm so gonna do that to you.
Hire a bunch of kids to show up and be like, "We never got to meet our dad."
a gay guy wearing a pink suit just bawling his eyes out.
Yeah, he was the love of my life. I'll never forget him. Yeah, I don't know if the Orthodox priest would like any of that.
That's going to make it even funnier.
He might be all like, "Look, this guy's going to hell." I mean, let's just move on. This guy's going to hell. But yeah. So I told you yesterday we watched two of my favorite sports movies.
No, you didn't.
I did. What two of my favorite sports movies yesterday?
What movies? Slapstick,
Dodgeball and basketball.
dodgeball, and basketball.
Yeah.
Real Big Fish as the definitive take on me. And I love Aha. Aha was great.
Yeah, but you know who the other big band that was in basketball?
Who?
It was Real Big Fish and My Life with the Thrill Kill Cult.
Oh, yeah.
Those were the bands that were.
Glam Rock is a rocky road.
I love that album, Hit and Run Holiday.
Oh
That's
yeah,
a
and
good
that album that album has all the freaking bass.
Now, if you're looking for an evil band for some reason, there, Manowar, My Life with the Thrill Kill Cult is the real McCoy. Those guys are freaking nuts. They're nutso. Super nutso. But Hit and Run Holiday, where they freaking go all like 1950s on everything, is like so good. Just like that whole album is just so freaking good, Drama overdoses. Drama overdoses. Glamour is a rocky road.
Glamour is a rocky road.
Yeah. And then, of course, I'm tired of sitting around here all day. Let's go somewhere.
Where do you want to go? I don't care.
As long as we stay out good and late.
Wait.
Let go and slip it to the street beat. Put the road under your wheels and burn, baby. Taking out to outer space. Then, of course, there was the one, they were like a one-hit wonder, Black Grapes. Do you remember them? In the name of the Father and the Holy Ghost, send me. Anyway, it was a weird band. I liked it. And then there was the one guy that did the song Dear God. Dear God, hope you got the letter that I wrote. Things aren't getting better down here. We don't need a price reduction on the price of beer. Yeah, it was your typical like smooth brain atheist thing. Bad things are happening, therefore, God can't exist. Freaking, that's like the stupidest argument ever. If God exists, he must be a masochist because he lets bad things happen.
Yeah, My Life with the Thrill Kill Cult was in the Crow movie.
Of course they were. They were the one in the band.
Yeah.
That was playing in the club downstairs from where Homeboy killed like everybody. That was My Life with Thrill Kill Kult. But everybody knows the best song off of the Crow soundtrack was Burn
By The Cure.
by The Cure. And if you don't know that, well, now you do. Don't look, the shadows call, dragging me away from you. But then everybody also knows that Disintegration was the greatest album ever.
Oh, yeah.
XTC, yeah, I think that was the name of the guy that did the Dear God thing.
It was.
And it was a catchy song. I give it to him. It was a catchy song. But the problem is the argument behind it is the same smooth-brained, bad things happen, therefore, your God doesn't exist. It's like, two things can be true at the same time, idiot. Well, why doesn't he stop the bad things? Well, because maybe, there's more going on that's so much bigger than you that you can't even understand why the bad thing happens in the first place. You know what I mean? It's like, what's up, Satya? So a long, long time ago, like, I don't know, 10 years ago, there was a time where arguing on the internet about God with atheists, like The Amazing Atheists and Thunderfoot and shit like that, was like a thing that people did. And after Amazing Atheists and Thunderfoot and those guys, I don't know what the hell happened to them, honestly. But they just kind of vanished, really. I mean, Thunderfoot would at least try to make good arguments because he was like an actual scientist. But this heat is, oh, yeah, you guys are getting burned up over there, aren't you? But the problem with his arguments even was that they all died at the point of creation. It's like, okay, you're sitting here and you're telling me about how animals will adapt to fit a specific environment. And he'll go into great detail about it. And when he's done with his whole, thing about, see, so that's why the fruit fly, blah, 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 here has this. And then you asked, but how did life start? And then he has no real answer. And he might say something, well, there were chemicals in the ocean, and then like something happened, and the first DNA was formed by that. Okay, what are the odds that that one DNA that magically formed out of nothing survived long enough to replicate? And they can never answer that. That can never be answered one way or another. And so that's why arguing that is just stupid. It's like, and I think that's what killed that whole, what killed the whole atheist power grip on YouTube was when they decided they were going to group up with intersectionality and feminism and become atheism plus. And then like half of them got Me Too'd by ugly feminists. And that was pretty much the end of that shit. They were done. Cooked. Elevator gate and all that shit happened, and they were cooked, man. They were done. Meanwhile, guys like me on my side that just kept telling them to prove what they're saying, we were laughing because we weren't getting Me Too. Because unlike the people, you will notice all the most hardcore people that were arguing the pro-atheism thing online back then, they were all single, every one of them. They were all single losers. Like The Amazing Atheist, his whole reason for becoming an atheist is because his dad got cancer and died. So he said, my dad got cancer and died, therefore God doesn't exist. It's like, wow, that is some smooth brain thinking there, bro.
That started.
Yep, that's where his argument started. And while he was funny, especially when he started taking out the feminists, um, at the end of the day, I mean, his arguments were pathetic. Like, absolutely just pathetic. It was just like, whatever. And then you had Amin Ra, that guy. I think that guy fancied himself a bit of a cult leader. Yeah, he was a joke too. He'd talk all that shit and just be like, shut the fuck up, you hipster, you know. But that's a long time ago, you know. And you had the one dude that made all the stupid cartoons, and they were like horribly done, and they would always be like attacking religion, and it was just like he had nothing but the same tired arguments. Every one of them, what their arguments actually literally boiled down to was, if God exists, why does bad things happen? That was all of their arguments. And it was like, wow.
Maybe it's not God that's causing the bad things to happen.
Maybe shit just happens, man. Maybe bad things happen so that you have a chance to grow and become a better person. You know, challenges in your life. Or maybe it has nothing to do with you. Maybe God can't get involved with everything all the time, because if he did, that would be a destruction of free will. Right? Because, you know, free will is a huge thing with that whole situation.
And hey, let's push it even further. Maybe it's the devil who's causing all this bad shit to happen. And because the devil doesn't follow the free will don't interfere pact, because the devil doesn't follow rules, but God has to, because if he didn't,
he wouldn't be God.
Exactly.
Because God is good and just all the time. When people say, is there anything God can't do? The answer is he cannot be bad. And he cannot be unjust. Like, he simply cannot do those things. Because if he could, he wouldn't be God. But not that I'm trying to preach, but I was just reminiscing about the good old days of YouTube. You had that one guy, Venom Fang X, that would get on and like just lose his freaking mind. That guy was crazy, man. But I think Thunderfoot basically worked his evil magic to get Venom Fang banned from YouTube or some shit. Because, I mean, even back then, people weren't above trying to get people canceled. Exactly, Satya. And sometimes bad things happen to good people, and sometimes good things happen to bad people. It's just the way it is. But regardless, I don't want to get into the depths of theology here. I was just talking about how much different YouTube used to be. Like, you would log on to YouTube and it would just be feminists fighting with people and atheists fighting with people, and sometimes they would be the same people and sometimes there would be different people. And like, I remember the one chick that had the glasses and the nice rack, and she was like the sex positive feminist, so a lot of people cut her a break. I also remember she went to some convention and banged some dude that was another YouTuber. I mean, this is like 25 years ago now, so I mean, she'd be my age. And then people called her out because she was always talking about feminism, but she always wore low-cut shirts and angled the camera to look down between her tits. And everybody was mad about that, except me. I wasn't mad. But, you know, idiots were. So, you know. Good times, man. YouTube used to be just the place, man. You show up, and there was a time, some of you may remember this, when YouTube had a feature. If you were watching a creator's video, there was a button under the video where you could respond to the creator with a video. So, yeah. So if somebody posts a video and you really thought they were a retard, you could hit that button and record a video explaining why you thought they were retarded. But they got rid of that. Just like now how they got rid of the dislike button.
There's the dislike button's still there. It's just you gotta download a
you gotta have an app to see it. It's still there.
Yeah. Because I dislike a lot of videos.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I was listening to Diver the other day, right? And he was talking about how the algorithm works. Picture it works on points, right? So if you've got someone watching your thing and you're live, that's a point. If they comment, that's not a point. No, if they like, that's not a point unless they comment, in which it is points. Going to a gaming convention. Awesome. In other news, Satya, I ran the Dune role-playing game the other day for my table. And the players absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. Like all the stuff that I gave it a bad review on. Is this, and yet again, sucked, turned out to be really good. Uh-oh, Hunger. I think we're reconnected. Yet in for the second time in a row, a game that I thought was not very good. His character was involved because he is, damn, connection keeps going in and out.
Yeah, you keep on like waffling.
Yeah, the connections here's jacking up. But Hungar is the house commander, so he commands all the house guards. So his character had to be there, even though he was not. But yes, the players enjoyed the hell out of it. Some of the players even said they liked it better than when we played Vampire. A lot of them were talking about how they wanted to play it again this week. I had intended to do kind of just a one-off kind of thing, just so I could say that I've actually played or ran the Dune game, which I've owned since it came out, but never opened up the book. I just read the PDF. And I'll tell you what, having ran the game, it runs beautifully. Things make a lot of sense. And the thing that really had me like annoyed, which was the lack of skills and stuff, on rereading it and making characters the way we did, which was during gameplay, skills do exist, but how they exist is when you make your whatever and your skills, whatever your highest numbers are, you can pick a thing, which is called a focus, and write it down next to that skill. And then when you roll a die 20 versus the target number, if you have a focus in that skill that would matter, every success counts as 2 successes. So that's how that works. So it runs very similar to the Conan 2.20 game, but with some differences, you know. Yeah, the VA, man, you gotta love them. You gotta love them. Like, you know, they are annoying bastards. I mean, not so bad down here because they just built a brand new VA hospital. So, you know, the everything is like really, you know, hardcore cool, you know, because it's like Florida's state of the art, you know, the governor visits it and shit like that kind of thing. But you know, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see how it is in a few years, you know. The old one was just filthy and full of mold, and it had like colored arrows on the floor, so you had to follow the right colored arrow to get to the right place to bitch about the right thing. Taking a break from the road and eating some Wendy's chicken. Secured a place for myself at the Dungeon Minister's table.
Nice.
That's what I was going to say. Nice. Yep, Dungeon Minister is a solid dude.
One of my favorite channels.
Yep.
I love hearing about.
Tell you.
I love hearing about good old Touchberry.
Touchberry, he is the best, ain't he?
Lighting stuff on fire.
Yeah. Wrestling with orcs. He is. I mean, but welcome to Florida, man. Okay, so you can't have hyper awareness because you're not Benny Gesserit. That makes sense. Yeah, it's like Tony thought he could have it, but he couldn't. But he could have the Mentat power that allows him to do the probability thing. So, I mean, it was the first time we ever played, Robert. And I think after the first 30 minutes or so, when people actually calmed down and got into it, I think it went very well, honestly. I think it went very well. And it's an easy game to play. But as a player, you have to be used to like the story jumping back and forth a lot. Because one of the players is out in the deep desert trying to get their hand on spice, right? And 2 of the players are nobles ordering people around. And one of the players is the commander of the house guard. So he's coming up with schedules and who's going to be where and whatever. And then you've got like another player, and he might be in charge of making sure nobody's assassinating anybody in the house. And then you've got yet another player, and his whole deal is he wants to kill other people because he may be a twisted mentat. I don't know what his deal is, but he's definitely bloodthirsty. And then, you know, it gets even more whatever because you've got players that have more than one loyalty that they got to look out for. All right. Yeah. Like I said, dude, I've owned that book since it was released and never even took the shrink wrap off of it until the other day. You know what I mean? So, because I read the PDF, didn't quite understand it, and then, you know, thought players will never want to play this. But then I reread it and I was like, wait a minute, this is actually really good. And I was like, well, I'm the DM, so I'm going to run what I want. And the players will just have to learn to deal, you know? Like I do a lot of running games that other people want me to run. But tonight I'm running the game I want to run. And it just so happened that the players actually, for the most part, had a really good time. I mean, you know, BRC Swordmaster almost got killed, but, you know, it happens. Like within the first 30 minutes of the game starting, he got freaking whacked. Pretty hilarious, really. I guess. You know, but. And they rooted out an assassin in the house and killed him. And now they've got their water traps working, and the house shield is on. And they're pretty sure they found all the booby traps scattered around the house. So, you know, that's good. It turned out 16 out of 20 rooms in the house were booby trapped. So, you know, mostly with just hidden passages that opened up into tubes that were just about the right size for a hunter killer to go down. And then down in the basement machinery room, there was a hidden compartment, and a guy was in there, you know, with a whole pack full of HK units and plenty of food and water, where he had snuck in. So, yeah, they found him. Unfortunately, the one Bene Gesserit killed him, so there's no questioning him to find out any information. But hey, you know, that is just the way it goes sometimes, I guess. You know, somebody put his poison slip tip dagger in him, and there you go. But yeah, and the system is actually really easy too. You know, it's like you want to do something, we figure out what skill and what the other thing is called you use, and then you that's your target number. And if you have any skills or talents that could be applicable to whatever you're trying to do, then you can use them as well to get extra successes. And you just roll die 20s. Well, thank you. You know, I mean, one of the reasons I do this, besides just personal selfishness and my desire to, you know, have something going on while I'm painting, because it's very hard for me to just sit down and concentrate on one thing, is, you know, I like to help people, you know. That's always been true of me. You know, I've always been a person that likes to be helpful. So I'm glad, you know, but right now I'm painting the decks of these ships with titanium white from Pro Krill, because the Vallejo speed paint that I want to use for the decks will stick to that best. And that means I also, because this one's got a command castle on the back where the commander of the fleet would be, I'm going to have to do that. Not a big deal, you know. Just a matter of getting a little white on it. But, yeah. This is a weird game because it's like they give you the PDF to play the game for free, but the miniatures are all STLs you buy. So if you don't have a 3D printer, I guess you could go to Etsy. But since these are pretty big ships, I mean, some of them are 4 or 5 inches long. I don't know how much Etsy would charge for them. And I don't know how good they would look if they were printed on FDM, you know, instead of resin, because there's so much detail. It'd just be a real pain in the ass, right? But even if you own a 3D printer, like I said the other day, like with these superheroes, since I'm only going to ever own or use the one Deadpool, why would I pay $10 for the STL of the Deadpool and then 3D print the Deadpool? Catch you later. And then that's it. I'm done. You know what I mean? Or there's some knucklehead in Maryland or something that will sell me the 3D print ready to go for like $250. So yeah, unless you plan on like, you know, cranking out multiples of things, sometimes it's better just to go on Etsy and freaking buy it, you know. And I've had some pretty good luck on Etsy, so I'll set these guys aside and let them ruminate. Well, we've been going about 2 hours, so I'm going to go ahead and get out of here.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
If you want to talk to me, you know where you'll be able to.
Yeah, I know.
Because, you know, addiction is a hell of a thing.
All right, everybody, you have a great day.
Addiction is a hell of a thing. And I'm pretty much addicted to the Doom game. So, yeah, FDM is getting way better. Yeah.
I should have known by reading that.
Yeah. They're starting to get really better, like with like 2 millimeter heads and stuff like that. And, you know, like everything else, it's everything's just getting better. So anyway, das vidanya, sukas. Some of you don't know what I just said.
Yeah, goodbye, bitch.
Gacheros, sukis. But I mean it with love.
Everybody have a good day.